Hey, Joel Jaguar, I'm Dr. Stout, and I am one of your assistant principals, and I want to personally thank you for being one of our student reporters for your class. So today in this video, you're going to learn exactly how to do that this week. So what I'd like to do is show you these two folders. You might have the red one or you might have the yellow one, but these folders, whichever one you get, the red one or the yellow one, they're going to keep your paper inside all week long. So your teacher gave it to you today, and then you'll fill out something every day with the paper that's inside of there, and then you're going to turn it back to your teacher on Friday after you have filled out the information for Friday. The teacher will give the folder to me, and then I will publish what you have written online. I am super excited to do this and see and capture your thoughts every day. So let me show you what you're supposed to do with the paper that's inside your folder. So let me share my screen with you. Right here. Okay, so I have three different pieces of paper that you might have. You might have one of these three. So if you look inside your folder and it's a little different than the questions that are listed here, it's no big deal. Don't panic. I have three different sets of questions that you might get. So I'll just use this one as my example. You'll notice on the very top of this paper, if you look at the computer, the very top of this paper, I've written my name, Dr. Stout. You're going to write your name. You're going to write your first and your last name. So that way I know who the author is that is giving us this important information. And then every day we'll just do a quick survey of the paper. There's a box for Monday, for Tuesday, for Wednesday, and when you turn the paper over on the back, there's a box for Thursday and a box for Friday. So I want to teach you how to fill out the different pieces of information in each box. So let's start by looking at the Monday box. The Monday box is located on the left side of the page at the very top. And the question on this page, it might be different than the question in your folder, and that's okay. The question on this page asks, what is the most important thing to know about your teacher? And so you'll notice that I've written in an answer to model for you. And I restated the question. I wrote, the most important thing to know about my teacher, and I got all of those words right from the question. Whenever you are writing your report for the day, you must write in a complete sentence. Use a capital letter at the beginning and an ending punctuation mark. In this case, for the end of my sentence that I wrote, I used an exclamation point. You can use a period or any other piece of punctuation that you think is appropriate. Most often, I think you'll use a period or an exclamation point, but you are the author and it is your choice. So let me show you again on how I did that piece on Monday. The Monday question was, what is the most important thing to know about your teacher? I restated the question at the very beginning. I said, the most important thing to know about my teacher is that he loves anything about Star Wars. I was thinking about a specific teacher when I wrote this, and I know that we have a teacher here on our campus who loves Star Wars, but maybe your teacher isn't a big Star Wars fan, but there's something else you think you should share. So be sure and share whatever you think is the most important thing to know about your teacher, if that is what the question asks. So let's take a look at Tuesday. The box for Tuesday is on the right side of our screen right here at the very top. And on Tuesday's question, it asks us, what challenged you today? And so I restated the question. I wrote, I felt challenged today when, and then I finished the answer. I did a quick write and got stuck. I couldn't figure out what to write. You'll notice in the Tuesday box that I used 2 sentences to answer the question. If you can answer the question in 1 sentence, that's fine, but I felt like I needed to add a little bit more information, and I had plenty of space. So I went ahead and added that second sentence. All right, so let's go look at that Wednesday box. Remember, my questions on my example might be a little different than yours, but every time I want you to restate the question. That means you write the question somewhere written in your answer. So the question for Wednesday is, what would you have changed about lunch today to make it better? Well, I wrote, today I would have changed lunch by, so that way I'm writing in my complete sentence. I'm taking words from the question and I put them in my sentence. Today I would have changed lunch by bringing Chick-fil-A in for all the students and teachers for free. I like that piece of detail that I added, that piece where the lunch would have been free Chick-fil-A instead of making people pay for Chick-fil-A. On the back of your page, you have what needs to be written on Thursday and Friday. So this question for Thursday says, what made you curious today? So I'm going to restate something. Restate means you rewrite some part of the question inside the answer. The question is, what made you curious today? And I wrote, today I was very curious, see how I restated the question, about the animals in a science lab. Another sentence. I am curious to learn what they do every weekend. So I said what I was curious about and what I would want to learn about. I think that makes a really good reporter, because you don't just leave your audience hanging on knowing that you're curious about the animals, but what is it exactly you want to know? Well, I want to know what they do on the weekends when we're not here. All right, let's take a look at Friday. Friday, the question is, what was the nicest thing that happened today? So I look at that question and I think, what words can I use from the question as part of my answer? So I write, the nicest thing that happened today was at lunch. And I want to explain what that is, so I wrote another sentence. I was still hungry and a teacher let me get food from the extra food bins in the cafeteria. I use a period to end that sentence. I start with a capital letter for my third sentence. My goodness, I wrote 3 sentences on Friday. I start with a capital I. I ate some carrots and pineapple, and I end my sentence with a period. Good or great reporters always use punctuation at the end of their sentences, and they use a capital letter at the very beginning. All right, Jaguars, let me stop the screen share with you so you can see me. There you are. Okay, so this week you're going to be writing something every single day. The question might be something about lunch. The question might be something about your teacher. The question might be something about what you're an expert in after you're learning from the day. It just depends. You have to take a look at your questions, and every single day you write that. Now, Jaguars, this is the only folder that you get. If you lose it, it's lost for the entire school year. And you know that you are the student reporter for your class this week. So I'm counting on you to keep up with this folder, so that way it can be given to the next student reporter in another class for next week. We're sharing this folder across the entire school, so be sure and take really good care of it. If that means you need to leave it in your desk when you're not working on it, that's fine. If you need to leave it on your teacher's desk, I'm sure you can work that out with them. If you need to keep it in your backpack, that's fine too, but make sure you're finding a really safe place to keep that, so that way you can write in it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Friday, you give it back to your teacher, and your teacher will give it to me, and you will become a published author on our school website. Whatever you write will be shared on our school website, and I think that is so cool. I'm super excited to read what you write, and I will publish it for you, and you will become a published author. Thank you so much, Jags, for being part of our student reporting team. Without you, the world would have no idea what was happening at Joel Elementary, and I'm very excited to read what you write. If you have any questions, please ask your teacher, and your teacher can ask me, or maybe it's a really easy question and they know the answer. All right, Jags, have an awesome week writing. I look forward to reading everything you write.